The US government might be sitting on an $800 billion secret. A newly surfaced economic report is fueling speculation that the dollar could be restructured in a way we haven't seen in over 50 years. Could this be the financial shakeup of the decade? Let's dive into the details and separate fact from fiction.
Gary, thing number one, we're talking the US dollar restructuring conspiracy. Tell us what we need to know.
So, Rob, what's happened is nobody has taken a look at Fort Knox in well over 50 years. There are all kinds of rumors that whether the gold is there or not, that's kind of interesting. The fact that they haven't audited it for some reason, maybe, we'll see, I don't know. But there's this recent theory, conspiracy theory, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, that the U.S. could revalue its gold reserves. So right now, I forget, I want to say they're valued at something like $45 an ounce. And, the current price of gold is quickly approaching $3,000. If the U.S. were to revalue the gold supply to current levels, it would increase the assets of the United States by approximately $800 billion. And that action hopefully would come concurrent with an audit of the gold reserves in Fort Knox. So, fingers crossed, we're hoping the gold is actually there. And so the big question is, what happens if the new Trump administration simply added another $800 million of currency to the economy? Well, that's going to cause an increase in inflation. That's something that's reviled by the population. It's a really good way to lose the mandate of the people. There's also been talk that the incremental $800 billion in assets could be used to reduce the national debt. That would lower borrowing rates. It would be a huge help to the new Treasury Secretary looking for a way to refinance Janet Yellen's shortening of the duration of the country's bond liabilities. So there are a lot of options here. And the key thing is, we don't really know what they're going to do or if they're going to do it at all.
Gary, if they were to proceed and if being the Trump administration with their plan to revalue gold, the holdings that the U.S. has, what would you like to see them do with that increase you see in value?
So, Rob, at this point, I think revaluing the gold reserves is unlikely. It's really hard to break with, around 100 years of tradition, maybe a little under that. But should they proceed, one really interesting potential move would be to use the additional $800 billion to start to buy Bitcoin. Now, could you go buy $800 billion of Bitcoin? That would be hard. Right now, the current market cap of Bitcoin is a little under $2 trillion. So, that would send things up a lot. But could they go buy a few $100 billion of Bitcoin? Yeah. And if they did that, it would leave total assets and liabilities unchanged, properly value the gold reserves, and diversify our national strategic financial assets. This is something we'd support. I'd love to see it happen. Don't have your fingers crossed. I don't think it's likely, but we'd certainly love to see it.